Hello friends, my dear colleagues, the members of Puri Group of Companies, my extended family. Today is 16th of March, the birth anniversary of our beloved Chairman Emeritus, Mr. K. Puri. And as most of you would be aware, that we celebrate this day as a Mentor's Day. First, let me explain it to you that why do we call it a Mentor's Day? Well, simply because as far back as I can recall, Papaji was a loving mentor to one and all. And his mentorship style was so natural and gentle that the beneficiary who was receiving his mentorship would not even realize that he's being subtly mentored. His ways of mentoring were never very explicit. He would share an anecdote, an experience full of meaning. His short stories were woven with lessons within. Any interaction with him would have an underlying message. And always there would be a valuable takeaway for a listener. So, though Babaji was mentoring his audiences all along, the listeners would never perceive that he or she is being preached. In fact, most of the times, he would not preach, but he would practice. And through his actions, he would try to convey what he wanted to mentor. And as a result of this, a large part of his life has become akin to a mentorship program. Let me just illustrate this with an example. काफ़ी समय पुरानी बात है, सन 2009 की। मेरी बेटी तेजस्विनी का जन्म दिवस से 2 दिन पूर्व की बात है। अचानक एक समाचार आया कि पापा जी की तबीयत कुछ नासाज है। तो मैंने अपनी बिटिया को कहा कि मैं 2 दिन उनको देखाऊंगा और लौट आऊँगा और आपके साथ आपका जन्म दिवस मनाऊंगा। जब वहाँ पहुँचा, दुर्भाग्यवश पापा जी की तबीयत कुछ और डिटेरियोरेट होगी, उनकी स्वास्थ्य में और बिगड़ गया, तो मैंने अपनी स्टे को एक्सटेंड करना ही ठीक समझा। मुझे आज भी वो दिन याद है जब उन्होंने तेजस्विनी के जन्मदिन से 1 दिन पूर्व मुझे बुला के बड़े ही स्नेहपूर्वक, बड़े ही प्यार से आग्रह किया कि बेटा आप दिल्ली लौट जाएं और तेजस्विनी के जन्मदिन पर उसके साथ मिल के अपना उसका जन्मदिन मनाएं। मैंने कहा पापा जी ये संभव नहीं है, मैं आपको ऐसे छोड़ के नहीं जा सकता। तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं बेटा, अपनी क्रेडिबिलिटी पे कभी आंच नहीं आने देना। योर क्रेडिबिलिटी इज एन एसेट which takes an entire life to earn. In a way, he was mentoring me that how even for an informal relationship like the one I had with my daughter, he was saying that the credibility should not be frittered away so casually. He said that credibility is something you earn, painstakingly in your life, and to let it go that easily is not advisable. That Papaji would mentor us through his actions. एक किस्सा और मुझे याद आया कि बहुत अरसे पुरानी बात है, हम छोटे ही थे, जब हमारे घर में एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट बिजनेस गेस्ट ने आना था, तो हम सबको ब्रीफिंग दी गई कि हमने कैसे पेश आना है और हमारा व्यवहार बहुत ही उम्दा किस्म का होना चाहिए। खैर वो गेस्ट आए, बातचीत हुई और उसके बाद वो थोड़ा गार्डन में गए। हमारा गार्डन मोगा वाले घर का काफ़ी बड़ा था, तो उन्होंने उसकी पौधों को, उन फूलों को बड़ा अप्रिशिएट किया और पापा जी सुनते रहे। और जाके वो जब अपनी बातचीत ख़त्म हुई तो पापा जी ने चुपचाप से वो गमला जो उनको बहुत ही पसंद आया था उनकी गाड़ी में रखवा दिया। जो ड्राइवर था उनकी कार का, उसने सोचा कि साहब की अनुमति होगी तभी ये रखा जा रहा है, तो उसने भी कोई जिक्र नहीं किया। तो जब वो घर पहुँचे जो हमारे गेस्ट, तो ड्राइवर वो लेके आया, तो जब उसने गमला दिया तो वो बिल्कुल ही मूव्ड हो गए कि पापा जी का ये इतना सिंसियर और हार्ट वार्मिंग जेस्चर से। सो इन अ वे ही टॉट अस दैट दीज एक्ट्स ऑफ काइंडनेस शुड बी डन इन अ वेरी सटल एंड ग्रेसफुल वे। ऐसे अनेकों सैकड़ों किस्से हैं। So like I was saying earlier, that Papaji's style of mentoring was simple yet unique, was gentle yet very effective. And he really believed in the ethos of mentorship. Our chairperson, my mother, Mrs. Vivek Puri, is a beneficiary of Papaji's mentorship. I'm sure she'll endorse this observation of mine. Uh, Papaji took great pains in grooming my mother, and he did it with a lot of affection, patience, and care. And as a result of all this, today my mother is a strong business leader in her own right. She is very ably steering your organization and is a perfect example of how mentorship can mold and upskill any one of us to take on any difficult role. My mother was mentored by Papaji with regards to taking public deposits. In those days, banking services were not easily available or accessible to small enterprises like the one we had. And working capital was an imperative to run an organization. So, recognizing this fact early on, Papaji decided to tap the market of public deposits. And he went and sought public deposits, and slowly, gradually, he earned trust of the depositors. They felt that their money was safe with him. And he was also very careful and conscious about the psychology of the depositors. I remember very vividly that he used to tell my mother to understand deeply the psychology of the depositors. And slowly and gradually, he mentored her at every step. And I also happened to be a beneficiary of some sort of that knowledge. I also learned the art of purchasing mustard seed during bearish times. Or let me, in our parlance, in our business, we call it manda. And it was a complete lesson on patience and diligence. Those pearls of wisdoms are all very fresh in my mind. Then there was this art of giving back to the society. Papaji always believed that the society which has really nurtured us should be given back in equal measure. He supported many financial institutions, educational institutions in Moga, his hometown, both financially and otherwise. He always felt that education is the foundation on which successful destinies are scripted. But the manner in which he gave that support was a treat to watch. The beneficiaries, whether an institution or an individual, would never feel that now they owe a mountain of debt to the benefactor. It was done with a lot of grace and humility. And there was only one sincere expectation Papaji had, that the person who receives that mentorship and the support would really try to bring glory to the institution he or she served and to the country he or she belonged, which is India in this case. The way Papaji fought his battles in the court, especially against an unjust law or an inequitable statute, was greatly influenced me. He would fight these battles with a lot of courage and conviction, whether they was against the government of the day or any other formidable adversary. He had this steely resolve and this firm conviction while fighting these battles. He would trust his lawyer and share a great rapport with them. He would be fully engrossed in the strategy and even in the dictation of the pleadings. It was indeed a treat to watch. He would take me along in some of these important meetings. It was again his way of mentoring me. But more than anything else, I was inspired by the way he greatly encouraged his lawyers to go and fight all out in these battles. And the lawyers will also try their best to earn his confidence and get applause from him which he was very generous with. By now, friends, you all would be hopefully convinced that your chairman emeritus really believed in mentorship. And the reason why we decided to therefore call his birth anniversary as the Mentors Day. Uh, your management, the current one, also feels a lot about it. And though it's a hard act to follow, we have decided to take it to the next step. We've decided to hire professionals who will mentor the future leaders of this organization. Those leaders who have the courage, who have the capabilities, who have a sense of doership to catapult this organization to the next level. And like Papaji always believed in, and so do we, that these leaders are within the internal pool of the talent pool of the organization, and the ones who have known the organization for several years and who have grown with it. So once these leaders are mentored, we believe that it will have a cascading effect, and these learnings will be percolated down to the shop floor level. And this train the trainer initiative will therefore have a far reaching impact, as the entire organization will have a sense of purpose. I would like to now invite you all to become part of this revolution, which is taking place, which will take place within your organization. And some of you who are sufficiently motivated by what I've shared with you, and with Papaji's dream of mentoring everyone within the organization, are welcome to reach out to the HR. Though, this mentorship program is in its infancy, so it'll be unfair you to expect that HR will have all the answers to all your questions. But with an open mind and an earnest desire, you should reach out to them. And by the way, I am presuming that the leadership selection would also be a rigorous process, though it will be a meaningful one. And the program will also be introduced in a phased manner. And accordingly, the future leaders can take advantage of this phased program. बस ये सब बातें शेयर करके मैं अब आप सबसे विदा लेता हूँ. आपको मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, और उम्मीद करता हूँ कि ये जो पापा जी का ये जन्म दिवस और उनका ये सपना कि हमारी सारी संस्था में बहुत ही एक ऐसी एक क्रांति आए जिसमें हम सब लोग अपनी संस्था के साथ जुड़ जाएं और इस संस्था को कहीं से कहीं ले जाएं, वो सपना उनका पूरा हो. इन 4 शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ. एंड बेस्ट विशेस एंड गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल. थैंक यू.